Good evening, everyone. Today I have Arnold with me, and we'll be looking at list in Python. So we'll be looking at what a list is and the types of methods that we could examples of methods that we could have with in a list. So as you can see on my screen here, you can see in Python, a list defined by square brackets. So anything you see with a square brackets is a list. Yeah, with individual elements separated by commas. So that's a list of. In other languages, you might see it in called arrays, but a list is also fine. List is also fine. It's the same thing. So over here,
Yeah,
we can see an example. I would like to open my um, shell next to it so we can also, do it side by side. Okay, so we have a list here, and this is an example of a list with a square bracket. We have bicycles, we got track, we got Ken, Canon, Cannondale, we have red line, we got specialized. Okay, and when it comes to accessing element, we could use index. You can access item by index. Index is basically the position. Mm. Python uses zero-based indexing, meaning the first item is at position 0. So for example, if we should have this example here, let's copy this and put it in here. If you want to access the first item in here, let's say bicycle, use a square bracket to access the index. Let's say 0. It gives us the first one in here, which is track. That is why it's zero based because it starts counting from 0. So the first item and the last item is gonna be we can count if it's but if it's like a million things in the list, it's gonna be very hard for us to find to count them one by one to get whatever specific index you want within it. If you're looking for a specific so and a shorter way is to just use the -1, which it starts counting from the back to get you what exactly is at the back if you don't know what exactly is in the last one. So we put in this and it goes to the back and it looks for the and it finds specialized because specialized is the last item. Yes. So basically it means that if you go last but one, which is this -2, it's gonna give you red line because red line comes after -1. So we have formatting. Since last item since list items are data, you can use string methods on them. Yes. So string is a data. Yes. So because even in the
good.
string we have individual characters that come together. Yeah, that's why we call it the data. Yeah. You can use a string method, for instance, a title, to capitalize a specific one. For instance, if I want to capitalize the second item in our list, you can say bicycle and then we refer to the second one, which is going to be index number 1 because we start counting from 0. Now we can use the title. The title, what a title does is it capitalizes. So we can see it works nicely. Originally in our list, we can see Cannondale right here is starting with a small letter, but here is starting with a capital letter. So that is it. So you have capitalize, which also works. Let's see what happened here. Okay, let me see the spelling. I second the spelling. Capitalized. Yeah, capitalized also does the same thing. That's why spelling is very important in coding because a slight error,
Yes.
you might end up breaking the code. So it does the same thing. So all of these are examples of string method, which we can also apply to the, the list because we are calling specific items. So we are applying the string method to those specific item members of the list, which are all strings. Yes. So that is what it means over there. Yes. And we also have you remember from chapter 2, we had the R, the R strip, and we have
Yeah.
the L strip. Yes, we can also use those as well on the individual items in the array or on our list. And we can modify and add and remove. Yes, lists are dynamic, meaning they can grow, shrink as the program runs. Yeah. To change an item, treat an indexed position like a variable. So we can copy this and paste it in here. So we can play with it. So basically, what we have here is motorcycle. We have Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki. Yes. But in case we want to change the first item in it, we don't want the Honda. We can put in Bugatti. Bugatti would be a nice one. And let's try to change it. And mind you, we could use the double quotes or single quotes. That's still fine. Python accepts that. So do Bugatti. And now let's try to print our bicycles again to see what the result is going to be. Oh, sorry. What I was supposed to do is to assign only the first one, not all of them. So let's try that again. Let's say Ducati. But this time around, we want to change only the first item, which is index number 0. So, so now let's try to print the whole list one more time to see what the first item is going to be. So now we can see it starts with Ducati, then Yamaha, and Suzuki. So that is what is happening in here. So that's why it says that we can modify. So basically, in our first example here, it's not growing, it's not shrinking. We're just changing the value of the content. Here we have add. We can append. Append basically means to add. It adds item to the back. It adds item to the end of a list. So bicycle that append Bugatti. Now let's try to make it grow. So what we're gonna do is to say bicycles. Now let's append. Um, let's append. Then we put in double quotes. I prefer double quotes, but you can also use single quote. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, double quotes. Let's say BMX. Let's have BMX in there. Because BMX is also attached. And now let's print the whole list again to see what we have now. Now we can see that it has grown. We've added BMX, and where did it go? It went all the way to the back of the list. So we can also
Yeah.
insert in the middle wherever we want to insert, but we insert uses two parameters. First is going to be the position where you want to insert it, and whatever is going to be on the right side is going to shift to the right side. Yes, and then whatever you insert is going to take the place there. So we're also going to try that as well. Let's in let's place that in here. So what I want to insert is going to be on my whatever comes after this hashtag is going to be a comment. Python is going to ignore all those. So let's try to insert another name which is not there. Let's say motorcycle. Oh, BMX is not a motorcycle, but let's see. What example of a motorcycle do we have? Let's
Wait,
say,
we've got Yamaha, you've got yo,
sorry,
can't
or
think of one.
yeah, let's say BMW. That's fine. BMW.
BMW is perfect.
Yeah, let's say insert BMW. So now because we chose zero, it's going to insert it in the front of Ducati. So let's run it to see the outcome of it. So we see we have BMW all the way in front. So we can also try to insert it in the middle. So let's try doing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to insert that in the middle somewhere. Let's say one, two, okay, let's say three. But we want to insert something. Let's say, um, let's say Mercedes. I don't know if Mercedes make multiply, but let's see. Settings.
No, your Honda makes bikes.
Honda. Okay, Honda.
Yeah,
And let's see how it goes. Let's run the code. Now we can see that Honda is in position three. So we have index 0, 1, 2, and 3 over here. You see it? So it
yeah,
goes to the index
yeah.
number 3, which is the fourth item. And everything on the right hand side gets shifted to the further right. So basically, we are inserting. And that is basically adding. We are adding things up here. That is to make the list grow.
Yes.
And we can also remove things from our list. Maybe you as the program goes on, you would like to take things out. We have special keywords like del, that's to delete it completely. We can have pop. Maybe pop helps you to keep it for a meantime. Maybe if you want to use it you've taken it out from the back. Yeah, and with pop you can also specify which position you want to pop from. It's gonna help you do that. And we also have remove. Remove also
Correct.
helps you do that as well. You can use if you know the value. Yes, if you know the specific name in the list you want to take out, or if you know the specific number, depending if your list contains numeric values or if it has string values, you can also specify what exactly the value is with using the remove method. But we could try it out. We could try it out. Let's say we're trying to delete the first item. We delete zero. Um, First of all, we know that BMW is our first item, right? So let's delete
Yeah,
it. See, let's run the code. And now let's print this. See, BMW is gone. Let's try to delete again. So delete again, and then we run the code again. You see, Bugatti is gone. So we can keep deleting until everything disappears. And luckily, we can also specify which specific item you want to delete. Of which,
mm-hmm.
in our example, we're only deleting the first item. Yeah. And we also have pop. How pop works is, for instance, if you want to delete, if you just use pop without giving it a parameter, it takes the last item, but allows you to keep it with you. But you can assign that
Yeah,
into a variable so you can use that later. But if you want to specify a specific index, you can put in the specific index over there. It's going to search it for you and then it's going to hold that for you. So you can use it as you've
yeah.
popped it out. So that is not going to be part of your list anymore
Great.
since you've popped it out. And we have a remove as well. Let's try this. Remove to see. So now it's going to remove first instance. It's going to remove the first occurrence if you use a remove. In case we have a lot of Hondas in our list, it's only going to remove the first Honda. But later on, we're going to look at how to remove multiple um, using the remove, but we're going to use a for loop to loop through the list and to take out all the occurrences of Honda. But let's try this. our spelling is, and let's make sure our spelling is exactly the same. Else, it's gonna return the
It's gonna
negative.
work. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's run the code and let's see. So now we see Honda is missing in our list here. So basically, that's how the remove works. And yeah, that's it. And we have organizing a list. To organize a list, we could sort it out. We could sort them alphabetically. Yeah. And using this sort, it makes things permanent. For instance, if I should sort my list, let's say I have a list of all these bikes, and now I should use sort. Let's get more space. Let's say um, let's have our list one more time. List of items that we have. Let's go up to copy the list one more time. Because we'll be using it. Okay, so now this is our list. And now let's try to organize everything alphabetically. So by doing that, we will use bicycles dot sort. And now let's see what is in a bicycle now. So now you see, C comes before R alphabetically, followed by S, and then T is going to be the last. Now this has sorted it permanently. Yeah. So it has sorted it alphabetically, and sometimes it can also accept parameters to reverse true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's also going to allow us to, let's try it out. Let's say reverse true, and let's rerun this code to see the outcome of it. Now you see it has reversed it, starting with the last one, which was Trek. Now Trek is the first one in here.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it's gonna end up, because so this one was the first one. Now Cannondale is now the last one. So those are permanent. But sometimes you may not want to permanently change the original arrangement in a list. So what you can do is to use the sorted. This is sorted. That's the past tense. It's also a method. So with the sorted, displays a sorted list without changing the original. So that's what it helps us to do. It never changes permanently. And we also, with the sorted, is how we do it. We write sorted. Let's see. Is my syntax right? The sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So basically, it is sorted out for you, as you can see over here. After using this the dot sort, it arranged everything starting with C, R, S, and lastly T. Looking at the first alphabet in the names. Now you can see that it has sorted everything here. Now let's try to rerun the original list to see, which is bicycles. Let's run bicycles now. Just bicycles. Now we see it goes back to the original. So if in case you don't want to edit or permanently affect the the arrangement of your list, sorted is the go-to. Yeah. We also have dot reverse. This it reverses the current order, and but it reverses it
Yes.
permanently. Yeah. And lastly, we also have a length which counts for you. It counts numerically, starting from one. Yeah. So you know how many items are in there. So let's get the length of bicycles, and let's see how many things we're gonna have in there. We have four. That tells you that this is here is number one, number two, number three, and number four. So luckily the length basically is, you can think of it as it counts is zero base, but it adds one to it so that any human who is not a programmer can easily count without being confused, because normally we don't count from zero, but using the length is going to help you know how many items are in a list. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So basically that is it. And we have avoiding index errors. So those are some of the things we have to look at as well. Most common mistakes. The most common mistake is index error, right? Which happens when you
Yeah,
ask for a position that is not in there, right? So let's try to ask for
yeah,
something that we know is not in bicycles. Let's ask for index, let's say index 20. We know there's nothing like that. Let's see bicycles. Hmm, what do we have here? It says string. It's out of range. So that is the index error we can see over here. What is highlighted here is index error because list index is out of range. So that's the index error is talking about on the side. So that is it. Asking for index 3 in a list which has only 3 is going to give us an error because Python um, is zero based, because what is going to be on 3 is going to be our third item. So when you're asking for 3, it's like asking for something that is on position number 4. You understand? So that is what
yeah.
is happening. Mm. So pro tip, always use -1 to get the last item.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what the last item is, instead of trying to rack your brain, trying to figure it out yourself, just use -1. It's gonna pop up the last item for you without
Yes, that's
worrying too
correct.
much. It is the safest way to avoid errors unless the list is completely empty. Yeah. As far as it's not empty, it's got things in there. To avoid error, you just use -1. So basically, that is it on lists. This is the first part of lists in Python. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Arnold, as well. And hoping to see you in the next one, next chapter 4. We'll be looking more into lists. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.